Please call them fuzzy. I don't like the connotation.
Thank you for joining the Escape With Me Book Club. Escape with me, Sam Reiner.
And me, Tim Bergman.
Into our most recent read. Come with us as we evade reality and go into detail about a new book. We'll be covering the book from beginning to end, so there will be spoilers. Today we're going to the Kingdom of Dor. So, just for a little context, we normally do furry books from like the 60s and 80s, but this one came out in the early 2000s. So yeah, published August 25th, 2003. The Tale of Despereaux is a story about an unlikely hero. As four characters' fates overlap, light and darkness fight, and there will be death. A lot of death. Can Despereaux save the princess he loves, or will the evil rats finally choke the light with darkness? Don't mind me, I just had a bunch of Kingdom Hearts voiceover in my head. Darkness, 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 darkness.
Did you know Roscoe's the dark part of Despereaux's heart?
Oh dear. So, I did not know this was a book. I knew about the movie. I thought the animation was very weird. As an adult looking at it, I understand that the art direction they went is medieval painting, but it's still pretty weird looking. So I didn't watch the movie because I thought the animation was weird. The movie came out in 2008, by the way.
That's actually not too long after the book was released. That's only about 5 years.
Yeah. They were running out of furry little stories to tell.
I guess so, but I don't know why. There's so many of them.
And apparently all of them have adaptations.
Yep.
As we're slowly collecting. So how did you know about this?
I remember reading this book back probably in middle school or early high school.
Oh, wow.
Yep, and I know my sister also read it, and she read it more recently. And so we talked about it a little bit, and that put it back on my radar after so long. And so I remember nothing about this book, absolutely nothing before I read it again.
There is a mouse.
Yep.
Age level for this is a middle grade, and you can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
Which is rather dark for a middle grade. I legitimately thought this book was written in the 80s until I was writing the intro. And I found out it was 2003, which is also kind of dark. So fair. But
yeah, there's a lot of darkness in this book. Be ready for that.
We're not kidding.
Yeah, no.
For being middle grade, it's pretty goodness.
This is you're growing up now. This is the world kind of book.
This is one bad thing went wrong in my life, and now I've decided the world is evil and terrible.
There's one character like that, and then there's the other character who every single bad thing happens for every single day of her life.
So, content warning as we're doing this. Stillborns. Because why not?
Yeah, that's where we start.
Child abuse, both physical, verbal, emotional, and mental. Because why not? Animal cruelty, gore, human trafficking, sudden death, death of a spouse, death of a parent, death of a child, kidnapping. And normally I'm like, oh, the lightest form of all of this. No.
Yeah, when we say darkness, we mean it.
It's darkness.
Yeah. And light and dark is a theme in this book, as we're going to find out.
That they will slam your head into over and over again. Don't you worry. You're not going to miss the symbolism.
Nope.
Just real quick, though. Judge a book by its cover. I thought it was going to be Redwall 2.0. It's a little tiny mouse scurrying along with a sewing needle as a sword.
Yep, and there's 2 different versions of it. Actually, 3 it looks like. But all of them have the same basic mouse running along the floor with a red thread and a needle.
Because sword.
Yep.
So I thought we were going to get a Matthias. That is not what we got.
Nope, this is more Nim-like. This is actual sized mouse.
Yeah, this is much more Nim-like.
Yep.
Except she was kind of a bad A.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But I do like those fuzzy critter stories where the animals are actually animals.
Actually, I think it's more rescuers, honestly.
Yeah, it's not too dissimilar. Rescuers had some dark points too.
And it also took place in a jail.
Fans of Rescuers, you got your next read. Because we know there are a lot of you out there
desperately trying to find more furry books.
Fuzzy, please.
But as we go along with this, so I watched the movie.
I did not, purposefully.
It was an experience. And it's unfortunately not bad enough to be funny.
Oh.
It's just kind of boring.
Kind of run-of-the-mill, by the numbers.
The decisions they've made are a little bit baffling. So I'll just throw in my wisdom as we go. But to start out, no one likes him. Everyone hates him. His parents hate them. His brother and sisters hate him. He's the worst. How dare you be tiny and look at light.
Yep. Despereaux is born with his eyes open, and all of his would-be siblings of that brood are dead. That's where the stillborn comes in. So he's the only surviving member, and he's extremely small, eyes open, looking at the light, big ears.
So he grows up and he has no friends because everyone thinks he's weird.
Yep, and he's very sickly. So in addition to being just a small, big-eared mouse, he's also kind of this weakish, piddly little thing.
Yeah, and like I said, parents are terrible to him, siblings are terrible to him, everyone hates him.
Yeah, his mother calls him a disappointment continuously.
Yeah, she's that type of mom.
Yep. She also named him Despair.
Yeah, but in French. She's French. And his father blames her being French for his personality, even though they've had like 1 million children together.
Yeah, he was grasping at straws. It's a very human thing for a mouse.
But the mom's named Antoinette. Come on.
Yeah.
I see what you did there. You can't convince me otherwise. But yeah, so terrible.
And I'm convinced the author just started naming the French words in the English language. Furlough, Merlot, and see, what's the third one's name?
Toulouse.
Toulouse, yeah. Just throw it at the wall.
So they try to teach him how to be a mouse, but he sucks at being a mouse. And one day he talks to a princess. And so they decide, you're banished, which means you get tied with a red thread and just thrown into the dungeon where the rats are.
Yep. And in his failure to be a mouse, one of the things that is right up there is he was reading a book instead of eating a book.
Yes, he magically knows how to read.
Yeah, that's the thing, is he just knows how to read. This is the Deus Ex Machina. He just looks at the letters and they come to him, and all of a sudden he's reading about a knight and a princess.
And he is obsessed with the idea.
Yep.
As every small child reading a book is wont to do.
Yep.
Also, he's in love with the princess, which makes me uncomfortable in a lot of ways. Book and movie. The movie really tones it down, but when they first meet, there's definitely flirting, and I'm like, don't B-movie this.
Yep, but it's a courtly love, the one that he saw in the book.
Yeah, he's obsessed with her, and she's like, oh, look, a mouse.
Yep.
The end of the book specifically points out they can't get married, but they stayed friends.
Yep.
Okay.
But it is love taking to its illogical conclusion rather than a logical conclusion.
It's storybook love. It's a knight's love. Like, you're a princess, and so I'm obsessed with you.
Yep. And what does the book say about love? What does it call it? Ridiculous.
No, I was going to say stupid, but that's a song.
No. You are leading our audience members astray. How are they going to do their book report if we can't help them?
The only people listening to this. So the movie says, ignore all of that. I mean, Jake keeps some of the things, like he's small, he has big ears, he reads a book. His family loves him. He only has one brother, and that's Furlough. And they try to teach him how to be a mouse because everyone thinks he's weird, and he's just too brave. He's not scared, so he's too brave. He trips off mouse traps instead of being afraid of them and gets cheese. So they just decide you're not scared enough, and so yeah, we're gonna banish you. Here's the thing though, Despereaux is growing up, he has friends, by the way, he has 3 friends in the very beginning who we never ever see again. But the importance of the friends is to 1, see that he trips off a mouse trap without caring, and 2, he comes to a pit, he's like, oh my goodness, it's a pit, and they're like, oh no, that's where the banished goes, if you break the rules. And he's like, okay, what do you have to do to be banished? And they're like, we can't talk about the rules. That's against the rules. And I'm like, first of all, how does Despereaux not know any of the rules growing up in this society, just like those 3? But who made one of the rules that you can't talk about the rules?
Welcome to Fight Club. Yeah, thank you, expositionary friends. You were very helpful for the audience.
All 3 of them. Also, they made him very round. Like, all the other mice are very, very skinny.
And he's more cutesy.
He's just like a Pillsbury Doughboy of mice in comparison. He's 4 circles, I feel like, in feet and arms. I guess to make him really stand out around all the other mice, but...
Easily marketable Despereaux.
Yeah, and you also need to be able to see him when he's hanging out in rats and stuff.
Yeah, but he's not a little sickly, neglected orphan with parents.
No, he's a healthy boy. The book gave me more of a romantic vibe. He's a big romantic. He reads books and he has a lot of feelings about them. And he feels those feelings so strongly that eventually becomes bravery.
Yeah.
But the book was like, nah, he's a knight. It's 2008. We don't have that type of time for romance and whatever. By the way, you can tell this movie's marketed to boys. Most of the characters are boys. They turned the chef into a man.
Really?
Most of the characters are men. The only two... Okay, there's 3 female characters. 2 being the princess and Mig. And then the lady that's in charge of Mig when she's working in the castle. That's like the only women in the book besides Despereaux's mom. I don't know if you count that or not. Maybe that was another reason I didn't watch it. It was marketed like a boy movie, and I was like, ew. I'm in middle school. Boys are gross. But you want to know what they did add?
What did they add?
To the cook dynamic?
Yeah, all right.
Anthropomorphic fruit?
What? No, you're lying to me.
No, one of the people in the kitchen is a fruit golem? I don't know. I'll send you a picture.
I won't believe you until I see this. And I'm not looking it up because I refuse to believe it, actually.
Fruit man.
Is it just like magical fruit? Do they explain it?
I mean, granted, I will say I was not paying the closest bit of attention because I had a finicky child, but if they did, I missed it. I have no idea.
I'm down for magic. I'm down for Deus Ex Machina. That's how Despereaux learns to read. But the fruit.
The fruit.
Whoa. Audience, that noise was me looking at this guy for the first time. Okay. Please delete that. I don't want to see it in the chat. Wow, that's horrifying.
And what's crazy is the movie has so many huge voice actors. The Princess P is Emma Watson. Roscuro is Dustin Hoffman. Despereaux is Matthew Broderick.
They got some big stars in there.
Andre, which is the cook, is Kevin Kline. They got some really big voice actors for this, and I'm just... This is what we did with that.
Yep. Oh, something we didn't talk about. King Philip.
King Philip. Oh, I'll get there.
You'll get there.
Because guess how the movie starts? So the book starts with Despereaux.
Right.
It has 4 parts.
Yeah, I wonder why the Tale of Despereaux starts there.
Yeah, well, this is the tale of Roscuro. He was not born in the dungeon to the darkness and then found the light. He's a sailor.
A sailor?
He's a sailor. He's on a ship. He's got a human buddy. They're going to the Kingdom of Dor, and he's so excited because they're known for soup. They made soup a much bigger deal in the movie, to the point Princess P's tiara, you know how some will have the spikies around?
Yeah.
The spikies are spoons.
Oh, come on, man.
The tiara.
I know in the book they said that the queen had soup for every meal, and I think she made everybody else also have soup for every meal, but that's...
Nope.
You take it a little bit too far.
What's funny is when he outlaws soup, they don't change the tiara.
Oh, boy.
So Roscuro goes to the Kingdom Door, excited about the soup. He gets separated from his human friend, and he's in the castle, and of course he falls in the soup. And the queen dying from that is even more ridiculous in the movie than it is in the book. There's a really funny TikToker I watch, and she catalogs all the different reasons women have died in literature, which is pretty great.
Did your TikToker already know about this one?
Oh, I have no idea. If she doesn't, I want to message her. But it's stupid things like going too long without looking at the sea, having too many pillows, not having enough pillows, having the handshakes. It's all really stupid stuff and whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, having a rat fall in your soup is probably not towards the upper top, but it's up there.
She had to have had a heart condition.
I mean, if all you have is soup for every meal, that's got to be a bit of sodium high, I'm guessing.
I have no idea, but yeah, definitely want to add that. But yeah, he falls into the soup. It's really upsetting. And then Roscoe can't leave because he sees the ship sailing off. And so now he has to go to the dungeon. And once he's in the dungeon, he meets Evil Rat because he's not the evil rat.
His name's Rimorso, right? Botticelli Rimorso?
I don't know if that's his name in the movie, but there is an evil rat that leads the society. So after learning about Roscuro and his situation, now we finally get to Despereaux, who, like I said, he's just, I don't know, annoying at best. He's not doing anything particularly weird. He just doesn't have enough fear.
A bit too protagonist.
They banish him. He gets sent off. I really liked the red thread in the book.
I wonder where they found the courage to banish him.
Maybe they were so fearful of him, they had to send him off.
Goodness. Just wildly diverging plots.
Yeah, but the thread's still red. He gets sent down, well, in the movie, it's a pit. You just get lowered into it. But then the thread disappears. One scene, he's literally being lower. He swings to a window, and then the next cut, he has no string around him. And it never comes up ever again.
But that's plot, man.
I told you, it's baffling with the things they keep in and then the things they cut out. Whatever.
That's so weird. But Despereaux's in the pit. Let's go to how Despereaux got there in the book.
He doesn't mouse enough. He's not a very good mouse. And then he talks to a princess.
He hears music played by King Philip to his daughter, Princess P.
He's kind of happy in the moment, which I have to point out because in the movie, you see him in the scene where the rat thing happens, and then he bans all soup, and then he plays his lute sadly for the rest of the movie.
Apparently, he's really good at music in the book.
Yeah.
And he's very nearsighted. He thinks Despereaux is a bug because he's so small.
And so the princess keeps being like, oh my gosh, I'm talking to a mouse. And he's like, you're talking to a bug.
Yep. And she holds Despereaux in her hand, and their hearts beat as one, which is a very romantic thing for a mouse and a woman. I did not expect that line. It kind of threw me by surprise.
So weird.
But the king does see that it is a mouse, and royalty means being involved even with the most distant relations of one's enemies, because the king has banned rats and therefore mice as well.
His banning rats is such good commentary because he's like, rats are illegal. And I think it's the king who's like, rats don't exist because I made them illegal.
Yeah, it's kind of a moonshine moment.
Can we talk about the dungeon though? That's where the rats are. It's a maze?
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's not really explained. It's kind of like, if you ever played Legend of Zelda, it's like the well in the village. We just don't talk about it.
It's such a maze that his own men went into the dungeon to get rid of all the rats, and they got lost and died.
And there is only one person in there named Gregory, who we will talk about soon, and he has to have a cord around his legs to help him navigate.
Children go down there to give him his meals, and they have also gotten lost and died. You really need to rethink this. I'm just...
You want to talk about darkness and light, all right? There's darkness. People just get lost down there.
Just casual throwing out.
Yeah.
Anyway.
But Despereaux, who is told to leave, does the unthinkable and speaks to the princess. And he speaks well enough that she hears him, and so does the king. And that is another breaking of mouse law.
Oh yeah, big. You're not supposed to talk to people. It's the opposite of the rescuers in that regard.
Yep. And so his brother, Furlough, goes and tells his father, Lester, and Lester tells the council, the mouse council.
And they're all like, get rid of him, we hate him.
Yep. Lester cries, but he does not protest at all.
And then his brother's the one that takes him to the dungeon.
Yep. They have this big court scene where Despereaux is brought before the council, and they're like, we will give you a chance to repent of your actions.
Before we send you to the dungeon anyway.
Yeah, where it's kind of like, you can go there on a clean conscience or not.
Which I think is some interesting commentary.
Yeah, he refuses, and both his mother and his father do not stop any of this. That's one of the scenes. It's him kind of realizing, oh, nobody that I thought loved me is stopping this, going down to the dungeon.
Did your book have illustrations?
It did. Yeah, the mouse with the hoods on.
The mouse hoods are very esque of a certain plan.
Yeah, that's just the executioner hood because they're always kind of pointed and floppy. And that was just kind of like the European tradition. But if it evokes this darkness, this evil, all the better.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Yep, this pointed floppy black hoods like the old executioners wore in all the cartoons and probably in real life.
Except they're mice, and so instead of filling out, they look especially pointy.
Yep.
That was definitely one of the photos. So, book 2, which is part 2 for our intents and purposes, you learn about Riscuro, who has a longer name, but I'm not going to butcher Italian that much today.
Yeah.
He was born in the dungeon, but he saw light once up close because Gregory the jailer lit a match, and he's like, oh my goodness, I'm obsessed with the light. And then one day he leaves the dungeon and he's in the light and he's enjoying himself and he's walking around and somehow ends up in the dining hall. He's on a chandelier, falls into the soup, kills the queen, and as we mentioned before, the king thus outlaws soup and rats.
Yep. And in the middle of all that, him finally seeing the light for the first time, he becomes obsessed with it, and he gets talked down for the first time by a rat we mentioned earlier, Remorso. And Remorso has very strong opinions about the meaning of life. Life is suffering, and the meaning of life for rats is to give suffering to other people.
Yep.
And so Roscuro goes and meets a prisoner down in the dungeon who they just caught. And this prisoner's only hope in life is a red cloth.
Well, his only comfort.
Yep. And this cloth is something that he traded his daughter for. And you heard me right. He sold his daughter for like a pack of cigarettes and a tablecloth. And this is going to come important later.
Yeah.
But Roscuro goes and he takes the tablecloth away from him. So now the prisoner has absolutely nothing. And then he goes upstairs.
Remember how we mentioned human trafficking?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he lives in a very weird in-between space where he sees the light and wants to be a part of it, but he knows because he's a rat that's not easily done. And then he also believes his friend, and so he has this darkness in him, but he has the want for the light, and it's just a whole thing.
Yep, and it has a very poignant line. One of the ones where I was like, whoa, hold on a second. This is about where I started keeping notes. And so on page 113, all living things have a heart, even rats, and all hearts can be broken. And so it just goes into him being just glared at by the princess whose mom he just killed by accident. And he knows that he is a rat and that rats are evil, filthy things. And he believes it in his heart that he's an evil, filthy thing. And so his heart, which was once so full of light and wanting to be where all the light is, suddenly turns back on itself. And now he's like, fine, if I'm going to be an evil thing, I'm going to be the most evil thing.
It's very deep.
Yeah, like I said, I got mental whiplash from this book because I'm like, oh, it's a mouse and there's these magic moments of being able to read and talk. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, here's some like C.S. Lewis-esque philosophy just beating me upside the head and making off with my spare change.
Here's just a little existentialism for you. So that's his story in the book.
Yeah.
He tried to go in the light. It didn't work out. Now he's pissed off about it and is plotting his revenge.
Yep.
In the movie, Despereaux meets him and he's remorseful and he wants to apologize. And so he goes to the princess. I think this is what happened because this is one of the moments where the child was needy, but goes to the princess. And I think then she's like, ew, a rat. And then he's like, cool, I'm going to kidnap you. But he was really remorseful. He's like, I just need to go and apologize so she knows I mean it, that I didn't. Whatever. And this is the part. Despereaux listens to this and he goes, that is a most noble quest.
Oh.
Because that's his thing. He wants a quest. He's on a quest. He talks about it nonstop. Talks to the princess about it.
Wow, the quest comes up once in the book.
Yeah.
And then never again.
I told you, it's no romantics, just valiant knight stuff. So we get to our third book here.
Which I was blindsided by this book. Just everything that happened in quick succession to this girl.
So much child abuse. So she got sold.
Well, hold on. We're not even starting at the beginning with her. First off, her mom dies.
Yes.
Let's just get that out there.
No mother. And then she gets sold to this random man.
Yep, for cigarettes and a tablecloth.
Who insists she call him uncle, which a little concerning. Cinderella situation forces her to do all the chores and stuff and hits her so much she gets cauliflower ear.
Which makes her partially deaf.
You know the thing that Greco-Roman wrestlers get from being hit in the ear too many times and not draining out their ear?
Yeah.
The movie just makes her deaf. It implies that she yells in her ear and it causes ringing.
They kind of took all the darkness out of the movie, which is what makes this such a good book. It doesn't hold back that much.
But they didn't. We'll get there. It sounds like they did, but they didn't.
So yeah, this uncle beats her upside the head so often she becomes partially deaf. And the more deaf she is, the harder it is to understand what orders she's been giving. So she messes up more, which gets her beaten more.
Yep. But all she wants to do is be a princess.
Yep. She sees the princess far off on a horse, and the princess waves at her. And by the way, this is on her birthday. Oh yeah, her name is Miggery Sow. She was named after a pig.
Yep. In the movie, she's friends with the pigs, although you only see them in the opening scene with her and then never again, but...
This poor girl. So she sees the princess, and it's the first time she's seen something so beautiful, right?
And she wants to be a princess now.
She wants to be a princess.
She's made that decision for herself.
Yep. And no one's told her she can't. By the way, nobody cares what Mig wants.
No.
This is a point emphasized repeatedly.
Throughout the book.
To her and the audience. Nobody cares.
From her dad, from Uncle.
Yeah, from Luis, who took her in at the castle, from the cook, and then from a surprise special character that will help us later.
Yeah, so it is just rather depressing.
Yep.
the whole storyline. But she ends up getting to the castle, well, in the movie because her uncle takes her there. I don't really understand. But in the book, soup gets outlawed, so the knights are going around taking away anything to make soup.
No kettles, no spoons.
At least with Aurora, they were throwing it out because it could, anyway, excessiveness beside the point. The knight literally goes, "Who's that?"
"Do you own a girl?" "I do," said Uncle, "a worthless one, but still she is mine." "Ah," said the soldier, "that, I am afraid, is against the law too. No human may own another in the kingdom of Dor."
I'm glad they have laws against human trafficking.
Yeah, so it's just like, yeah, slavery's been outlawed. Sorry you didn't hear.
Anyway, we're taking her too. Takes her to the castle just for, and this is commentary again, just for her to get hit in the ear by the castle people.
Yeah, she goes to the castle, the place she's always wanted to be. This poor cauliflower-eared girl. And immediately when she gets there, she gets clobbered again. But it has this line that's such a punch in the stomach when you keep on reading. So she's 12 years old, by the way, at this point. And she's been a slave, a servant, sold since she was 6.
Yeah, and probably not a great life experience before then.
Yep. And so this poor girl, she's on her way to the castle and says, "Reader, do you think it's such a terrible thing to hope when there is really no reason to hope at all? Or is it, as the soldier said, something that you might as well do since in the end it makes no difference to anyone?" It's like, oh, should you hope even when it doesn't matter?
Yes, the book it's hit a lot of philosophy in its pages. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
So she ends up going to the dungeon because she sucks at literally everything.
Yeah, she fails every single job. By the way, the author mentions that poor Mig is not actually good at anything.
No.
She is clumsy. She is not that bright. She's just an unfortunate human in every respect. And because of that, she has to keep on getting new jobs until finally they say, all right, look, take this tray down to the dungeon, let the dungeon master eat, and then come back up. That's your job.
They're literally like, you cannot mess this up. Although apparently you could get lost, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's like you are now wearing the red Star Trek Expendable shirt.
Gosh. Anyway, goes down to the dungeon, gives him the food and whatever. Gregory, the jailer, helps Despereaux out, finds Despereaux when he first whatever, and keeps the rats from eating him alive. This is the part where Gregory puts a napkin on the tray, and you find out that Despereaux's hiding under it. And because of this, Despereaux overhears a plan between Roscoe and Mig.
Yep.
So in the movie, she's sent down to the dungeon because she got in trouble for doing something, and so they sent her down. She took the tiara and she was wearing it, and the woman found out she was doing that, and so she gets into the dungeon as a punishment to bring him food. They just completely got rid of the criminal in the cage and were like, nope, Gregory's your dad.
Oh.
Your dad's the jailer. He gave you away. It doesn't ever say it, but it's kind of implied that he was given away because he couldn't afford her and had to go work in the castle. He says sorry. It's a whole thing. Apparently, she has a heart birthmark on the back of her head. So the movie gets to make a line about, oh, even if you don't know it, you might have a good heart or something like that.
They made a talking vegetable man a character and took out her father.
Yes, they did.
I don't have enough words to express disappointment without being repetitious.
So, to make it even better for you, Gregory does not help Despereaux. It's just kind of like, you're on your own, kid. And so the rats find him, and apparently Rat Society, which has boats and fishes and a bunch of other stuff, has a gladiator ring.
No.
And he is put into the ring, and they open the cage, and he has to fight a cat.
Hey, director, how do we make this society seem evil? Give them blood sports. That's what we really want. That's what the audience wants to see. Everybody loves gladiators.
It needs to be more magical. It needs to be more fantasy. We don't have enough. We got too much philosophy in this nonsense. We need action.
Yeah. Kids don't need to learn the difference between light and dark. They need to just go out and kill things.
Well, I mean, he outsmarts it, and that's like the whole thing. But just put a pin in that gladiator ring, okay? It's massive, by the way.
Gotcha.
Really massive. Put a pin in that. Just right there.
Just right there.
In the corner, right there, so it'll hold. Yes, we only have one pin. It'll be fine.
It's like my fridge magnet that's holding about 6 different items.
So in the book, Roscoe convinces Mig to take a butcher knife from the kitchen, go up to the princess's bedroom, and kidnap her under threat of knife.
Yep.
And I fully believe Mig was gonna use it.
I don't think she knew.
I think she was dim, yes. But I don't know. I was worried.
And this whole time, in the book at least, Roscuro told Mig that she would get to be the princess. They would swap places with the princess, and that the princess would be her lady in waiting. And she believed it.
And she would be the princess, like they were gonna switch spots.
Yeah. And the author even points out that nobody in the entire world would believe this plan except Mig.
Yeah.
She had such hope. She wanted to believe so badly that she could be a princess.
It's all she's ever wanted.
Yep, but nobody cares what Mig wants.
And the movie kind of keeps to that. She's mad at the princess because she got in trouble because she can't wear the tiara, and the princess is kind of being, I don't want the tiara, I don't want to be a princess, and it makes her very angry because she wants to be a princess. And so Roscoe fans those flames and is like, okay, yeah, kept this, kept the butcher knife, kept the kidnapping, got a whole drawn out scene of Emma Watson screaming help as she is marched down into the dungeon.
Now hold on, the princess doesn't want to be a princess in the movie.
Yeah, Meg comes in and is like, here's your tiara, and she's like, I don't want to wear my tiara, I don't want it. And she's like, but it makes you a princess. She's like, I am a princess, but I don't want it. And Meg tries to put it on her head, and then she freaks out, and so that's when Meg steals the tiara, and she's like, well, if she's not going to wear it, I'm going to wear it. And she puts it on, and she gets in trouble, and she's sent to the dungeon.
Man, not like other princess did all the way in 2008.
Yeah, it's not really fleshed out there. It's just whatever. We needed a reason for Meg to steal the tiara, and no one noticed at first. But yeah, kept the kidnapping. And in great detail, even Roscoe whispering into her ear the entire time as she goes up, kept that.
Yep.
So yeah, she gets kidnapped, taken into the dungeon in both book and movie. In the book, she's put into a cell, and she's just gonna sit there and rot for the rest of her days because Roscoe wants her to feel darkness.
I like how we started calling him Roscoe. We've already shortened his name.
Roscuro. Ah, shoot. Alas. Anyway, wants her to feel the darkness, right?
Yeah.
Right? This is his plan. Maybe he'll feed her scraps just so she can stay alive and exist in the darkness. This is his want, right?
Right.
Remember that gladiator ring?
No.
In the movie,
No.
they tie her up a la Gulliver's Travels. She's in chains, lying in the middle of this massive gladiator thing, right?
Right.
All of the rats are surrounding her, and the evil rat is gonna ring a gong, and then they're going to eat her!
Oh, just straight up devour her flesh.
Just straight up devour her flesh! And to make it extra whatever, Despereaux's there, he unleashes the cat on them to get them to go away. But to make it extra, oh no, is he gonna be able to do it? He rings the gongs, and the rats are crawling upon her and very clearly about to bite her.
Dang. I mean, this book was dark from the start. You know, dead siblings and all that. It's kind of a left turn for them to try and go for that in the movie.
After all the things they cut out.
There's so much darkness and dark points that they could have had in the movie from the book, and they just include this instead. It's not even mentioned rats eating people in the book.
Nope. This is rated G, by the way. Not PG. No parental guidance needed. G. To give you an idea of what Hollywood was doing around this time, this was the year that also gave us Horton Hears a Who. Igor.
Oh, Igor. Yeah, that's like the same animation.
Space Chimps.
Space Chips 1 or Space Chips 2?
I think it's 1. Open Season 2.
Oh.
The year before we got B-Movie. The year after we got Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. And Monsters vs. Aliens. Oh, this was the same year as Bolt. Spider-Rick Chronicles was definitely making an attempt.
Yeah, that shows you where the animation was going.
Just your idea of what Hollywood was doing during this time period. None of us knew what we were doing. Not even Disney. Bolt is kind of like out of left field. No one talks about it anymore, which is sad. It's a good movie. But no one knows what they're doing right now. They're just trying to be quirky. Like 2 years before that, you got Flushed Away. They're trying to be quirky and weird and whatever.
Yeah, but this is kind of more by the books than anything else. There was nothing really new or innovative done with Tale of Despereaux when they put it into film.
No, they just really didn't want movies about people. Apparently. They wanted animals or random people with a crippling back problem. It just screams trying to be quirky to me. They were trying. Well, maybe they weren't trying enough, and that's the problem. But
as all of this is happening, and a bit before this is happening, Despereaux makes it upstairs on the plate that Miggery Sao was carrying.
So that's how he gets back. He goes through the kitchen. He gets covered in flour.
He falls in oil and then gets covered in flour.
Yeah, so it sticks.
And the cook sees him. And the cook is not a nice woman. She hates mice.
She is a very stereotypical matron of this time period vibes I'm getting. AKA, she's pretty abusive, but she's good at what she does, so we're just gonna let her. She's not great to Mig either.
Yeah, she's very scullery maid. When you think of the phrase scullery maid, this is who you think of.
Oh, by the way, the reason Despereaux hasn't acted to this point and Princess got kidnapped is he took a nap.
Not yet. Something happens to him first. Miggery Sao takes the knife.
Oh yeah, cuts off his tail!
Yeah, she tries to kill him straight out. She doesn't even know that he knows the plan. She's just like, oh, a mouse. And the cook says, kill it.
Get him. And she was, which is why I think she would have used the knife on the princess without realizing that it would have caused harm.
Yeah, she is rather simple-minded, and we're all lucky she's incompetent. But yeah, she strikes at Despereaux, and Despereaux's tail off.
Yeah, that did not make it into the movie.
And so Despereaux, white as a ghost because he's covered in oil and flour, bleeding from his tail, goes, finds a safe place, and just clocks out.
Yeah, clocks out. When he wakes up, he was going to tell the king, but he runs into the mouse council, who thinks he's a ghost because he's covered in flour. And his father begs his forgiveness. Despereaux forgives him.
Which is a very big moment for Despereaux and the author explaining why he does it. This is something that I bumped the book up another star for because it's something that I don't see very often. There's a lot of books that talk about, children's books at least, because that's where we are right now. They're like, oh, here's forgiveness and redemption. And sometimes they just forgive people and they never say why. It's just assumed that forgiveness is a universal good. And with this one, it actually explains, and I will find the page for it. I have it in my notes. 207 is where it happens. And so his father, who is visibly upset over what he has done, he is aged and his hair is gone gray. He's down, he's weeping. He truly believes that what he's done is wrong. And you have to remember that at this point, he gave his son up for death, and a cruel black death, and now he's sorry. And so Despereaux looked at his father, at his gray-streaked fur and trembling whispers, and his front paw claps together in front of his heart, and he suddenly felt as if his own heart would break in two, and forgiveness being a ridiculous thing, and he forgives him. And it says, and as he said those words, he sensed that it was the only way to save his own heart, to stop it from breaking in two. Despereaux, reader, spoke those words to save himself. And so this is not only forgiveness in making sure that the other person knows that they've done wrong and absolving them, or at least acknowledging that they are sorry for what they've done. It's also on your own behalf of the forgiver. And so that's not something I see very often, and that kind of struck me.
Yeah, it's a very good lesson on forgiveness should be for yourself and not just words you say to make someone feel better and not something you actually feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good opening to a good conversation opener for your kid, I feel like. I think this is definitely a book, unless they are like 12, 13, but even then maybe a little bit. This is a good book to open some conversations with your child about things like bad things happen to people and then they become bitter and that can harden their heart and make them do bad things, even though once they were a good person and this thing happened, but then they're still responsible for their actions they take after that, even though the bad thing happened to them, and how it can harm more people and then go on and on and on about that and stuff. There's a bunch of things I think are good conversation starters with your child.
Yeah, there's a lot of conversations because there's people that start good and then end up evil, and then there's people that start evil and end up good, and then there's good people with evil in them. And so there's a whole lot of conversations. So Despereaux forgives his father. He looks like a ghost. He asks the council to repent, and the council does not.
Yeah, I did think that was a little poetic justice there.
Yeah, but he goes off and he finds the king.
I mean, if you want to get into the religious symbolism of that, he is a Christ-like figure coming back from the dead.
I didn't consider that at first. I just thought it was like, oh, it's a phantom because, you know, magic and talking mice.
All of the symbolism. But even though they don't, he gets closure anyway. I think that's a good thing to bring up with your kid. Tries to tell the king. King won't listen. No, rats are outlawed. They don't exist.
You know, you're more right when you think with the symbolism, because in the book it says Despereaux had been gone only a few days.
Yeah.
She said 3. I guess that would have been too much.
No, I pegged it immediately.
Yeah.
He is coming to them with a bloody wound. I think he's wrapped. Doesn't he have the red thread then?
Yeah, he still has the red thread around him.
He has the red thread, which is the symbol of his death, basically.
Yeah, it's like a noose around him.
Just say. But yeah, when no one helps him, he's like, fine, I'll do this myself.
And he goes to the king.
Yes.
And the king is beating his chest.
Oh yeah, that before when I was like, the king's like, nope, rats don't exist, so goodbye.
Yeah, and so it goes into something that I enjoyed, which is the king is the king, no matter how ridiculous kingship might be. And so this is a man of power, wealth, influence, and training. And here he is weeping openly like a child. And so it even says the diminishing of the powerful is nothing short of terrifying. Imagine just the powerful figures of today. Imagine what it would feel like seeing them broken over somebody that they loved.
Yeah. I will give the movie one thing. When he turns and is evil about soup, the movie, there's narrator that they kind of give up on, I feel like halfway through a little bit.
Couldn't pay them.
Anyway, she disappears when there should probably definitely be some narration. But she specifically says, when there's hurt, there must be something responsible. And I think that's a great way for people to be like, oh, clearly he's projecting on soup because he doesn't want to deal with his grief. And by taking it out on the soup, he's doing actions, so he feels like he's doing something even though he does not help the situation whatsoever. So I will give the movie that. I thought that line was good. Some of the other ones were trying a little too hard to be poetic, where I'm like, okay. But yeah, Despereaux has decided, fine, I'll do it myself. Gets the needle we've been promised as a sword. Although I don't think he ever uses it, does he?
He uses it once.
I feel gypped. Anyway.
I mean, he doesn't use it, but he points it very sternly.
Yeah. He removes the thread around his own neck because symbolism. Overcoming the grave, anyone?
But he keeps the thread. He meets Hovis again.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the thing with the cook and the soup?
Yes, we can. By the way, for those who weren't paying attention, Hovis is the threadmaster, and he's a very good character, even if he's only there for like 3 pages.
Yeah, he's got some good lines. He was also not cool with it. Also, red thread, right?
Yeah.
Specifically red thread. There's a moment when the princess is making a tapestry, and she's like, why does my red thread keep disappearing? She's like, I can never keep it around. I don't know what happens to it.
Nope.
I appreciate that.
My favorite part of their last interaction with the Threadmaster Hovis just talking to Despereaux, being the one voice of reason in this entire insane kingdom.
The most father figure he's ever had.
Yeah, and Hovis is just like, you know, they say that the thread is mystical and sacred, and there's all of these myths and rumors, and Despereaux's like, really? He's like, yeah, but it's not true.
I mean, it's just thread.
He's just leaning against the spool and having something to eat, and he's just like, yeah, all those myths, none of them are real. It's just thread.
It's just thread. It has meaning because we gave it meaning.
Yeah.
Not because it's special or anything. But yeah, Despereaux goes to the kitchen again because that's the only way to get to the dungeon. And the cook is cooking soup.
Which is illegal.
And so the cook catches the mouse, but the mouse sees that she's making soup. And so they just make this deal. I'll let you do whatever. Don't hang around my kitchen. Don't come back. But I'll let you go so you don't tell anyone. And she also gives him soup.
Yeah, she's grieving for the princess, by the way. The cook is like, yeah, the princess went down to the dungeon and she'll never be found again. And so that's why she made soup, because she's in such despair. It's like somebody lighting up after having gone cold turkey.
And she even holds the door open when Despereaux's like, this is my quest. And she's like, here you go, buddy.
Yep.
You're not going to make it out, but here you go.
Yep. And there's a line the author puts in there where it's like, you know, the cook isn't such a bad person after all. Even though she absolutely hated mice, it just goes to show that something that is common between them, both the loss of the princess and the goodness of soup, can be uniting.
Sharing food, honestly.
Yep.
Breaking bread with someone.
So Despereaux's in the darkness, once again.
Despereaux's in the darkness.
Oh yeah, by the way, Gregory's dead.
Oh yeah, they cut the rope and he's just immediately dies.
Yeah, the rats cut the rope and Gregory's dead.
Everyone has heart conditions in this castle. It's a problem. My immediate mind goes to family relations because I'm like, that's a quick way to have genetic mutation problems in your populace. Who knows? They're just dropping dead out here.
By the way, no comeuppance for this.
No.
Nothing. Proskuro just straight up kills a man.
The author was like, you would be too helpful. Die.
Yeah. Nobody mentions it, by the way.
No one cares that he died.
Yeah.
Even Despereaux doesn't mention it.
That's really funny. No, I did not have this epiphany the first time I read the book. Only that I'm talking to you now. Where it's like, oh yeah, Gregory's dead.
Yep, because otherwise he would be too helpful. Dang it.
Oh man, and he had one of the best introductions. We skipped over that, but
yeah, he's pretty good.
He's like, I am Gregory. I've been here for eons, eternities.
And he's not even allowed to leave to go get food, which makes me really concerned about his bathroom situation, but...
It's the dungeon. Just go somewhere nobody will see.
They gonna smell it. Oh, well.
But anyway, Gregory's down there. He has the spool, and he wants to use the spool as a guiding thread throughout the dungeon.
Despereaux wants to use the thread. Gregory's dead.
Yep, sorry. I'm so fixated on Gregory.
A little bit.
Despereaux wants to use the spool.
He has a happy ending in the movie, if that makes you feel better.
I guess. That's kind of like a consolation prize.
He's reunited with his daughter, and they work the farm together, and it's good. And they are with the pigs. And there's actually a really cute line, because at some point he's like, everyone can have a princess, saying a daughter, basically. And so at the end of the movie, and it's like, and Gregory found his princess. He found his daughter, and it was actually very sweet and very cute.
Yeah.
Much better ending than she gets in the book, but he's using the spool goes down the stairs, so Botticelli is there.
Yep, Rimorso, the evil rat, the rat who never repented and hates light.
Real quick, though, am I the only one that was shocked he actually led Despereaux to the princess?
You are not. I thought he would do something sinister too.
And he's like, nah, I'm a rat of my word. I'm going to take him to a princess and then do something sinister.
I think that his whole thing was, I take him to the princess, I let him see that the princess is never leaving.
And he will despair even more.
Yeah, I want to give him the hope enough to lose it. But yeah, he does it. Despereaux grabs onto his tail, and Rimorso leads him up.
Well, not yet. Turns out, Proskuro kind of played his hand a little too early and was mean to Mig, and it was like, you're not going to be a princess, you'll stay down here too. Meh. And so the princess is kind to Mig.
Oh yeah, by the way, she has empathy.
Not movie P, but book P for sure. She's empathy and she's kind to Mig, even though Mig has kidnapped her. And so Mig refuses to chain her up.
Yep.
But instead of leaving, they just decide to sit together.
It is pitch black, theoretically.
But still, it was just, I'm not going to chain her up. I'm not going to kidnap her. Is their girl bossing it together? They're turning it against the rats. They're not going to do his bidding anymore.
Passing the Bechdel test. No, they talk about their ma.
Oh, it does, because they talk about being a princess.
Yeah.
Pats for Patrick.
By the way, Mig and P have lost a mother, and they bond.
They bond, and it's a very cute moment, but they sit down. They just sit there. And I was like, it is really convenient for y'all mouses coming to save your butts.
Yep.
But yeah, they sit there for hours and hours because Despereaux has to get there. And to save Despereaux, Mig ends up cutting off Roscuro's tail.
Yeah, Proskuro goes to assault Despereaux, and Mig, being Mig, fails at what she wants to do and cuts off the tail of the rat.
But it's okay, because Despereaux smells like soup, which makes Roscuro sorry, and the princess offers him soup if he shows them the way out. But don't think this is a redemption for Roscuro, because now Roscuro can roam the castle, but he doesn't fit in there, and now he's too nice to fit in with the rats, and so actually, he is kind of left for a lifetime of feeling othered. What a rewarding existence.
Yeah, but we're moving too fast, because I want to dwell on this a little bit. So page 264 is one of the other moments, the one that we talked about earlier. I think, reader, that she was feeling the same thing that Despereaux felt when he was faced with his father begging him for forgiveness. That is, Princess P was aware suddenly of how fragile her heart was, how much darkness was inside it, fighting it always with the light. She did not like the rat. She would never like the rat, but she knew what she must do to save her own heart. And so that's another forgiveness episode where it reveals that even though you're forgiven, you don't have to like them. You don't have to be friends.
No, you do not need, just because you forgive someone's actions does not mean you need to be around them.
Yeah.
It is for your soul, not holding on to that bitterness and hatred, and in this case, becoming something that you wouldn't want to be.
Yeah.
because she could have been spiteful, but she did not want to be a spiteful person, so she chose kindness instead because that was the type of person she wanted to be.
Yep, and it does reveal the rat does not fully belong in either the world of the light or the world of the darkness. His heart was mended wrong, and some things, when they mend wrong, can't be fixed. And I think that is a big message where it's just saying some people are going to be like this.
Even though you're forgiven or you repented of your actions doesn't mean everything's fixed. Apologies don't solve the issue necessarily. So even though he did repent and he has changed his ways, that does not mean everything's fine and dandy. Because some things once broken cannot be mended.
Yep, or at least mend wrong.
Yeah.
But as for everyone else,
Meg gets adopted by her father again, and he treats her very well.
Yeah, the author says Meg did not become a princess, but her father treated her like one.
For the rest of her days.
Yeah, so the guy that lost a tablecloth about 45 minutes ago, he got back with his daughter.
I do kind of like the movie a little bit there, so the point. I do think she has a better ending in the movie just because her dad didn't want to give up. Because the big thing is he didn't even turn around.
Yeah.
Or said sorry or anything. He was just like, here you go.
Yeah, did not turn around. Oh, by the way, the movie-wise, let's go back to that for a second. We're at the end of the book here, and they're all just having soup together. And in the movie, Despereaux frees the cat. The cat goes after the rats who are about to devour the flesh of this 12-year-old princess.
Yes.
What happens?
She's able to get out, and then the evil rat is fighting Despereaux, and he's gonna kill him, but oh no, something's happened, and they're making soup again, so it rains, but people can smell the soup. I don't know, it's a whole thing. I didn't understand that scene at all. But that's happening. They're making soup, they're changing the world, it's wonderful. Despereaux's about to die by evil rats, but the light, it burns his eyes, he hates it. And this whole movie, he's been using a magnifying glass kind of thing to make himself look bigger when he talks to the crowd. And so Roscuro turns that on him and basically burns him. He ends up dying. Yeah, they killed the evil rat.
Oh, brutal. Not even in the book does the evil rat die. He's just like, yeah, I'm an evil rat, and now because everything is so sweet and syrupy with people being forgiven in the dungeon, I'm gonna leave. I've lost my appetite.
Yeah, ew. Gross. Ick. Oh no. I forgot to mention something.
Oh no.
Despereaux uses his ears to glide through the air like a flying squirrel.
What in the Dumbo?
Several times. That's how it ends, actually. Oh, you think that the tale is over? No, it's not over. Adventures keep happening. And he just jumps out of a tower and uses his ears to glide around the city. Like I said, Meg gets adopted with her dad, the jailer, and they're good. There's soup in the town. Oh, also the anthropomorphic fruit guy is the one that takes Despereaux into the dungeon to give soup. I still don't understand why they didn't just eat him, but that's beside the point. There you go. That's it.
There you go. I don't want it.
Too bad.
Take it back. Waiter, I didn't order this.
My kid watched it for maybe 30 minutes and then he was so freaking bored. And I can't blame him. I was also bored and barely paying attention.
Just goes to show.
But yeah, that exists.
Yep. And so, at the end of the book, they all have soup. They all fought their darkness. They all...
Even the book mentions a mouse and a princess cannot get married, so they're just friends. It's fine, guys. They're just friends.
Yep. Which is a good thing.
Which is a very good thing, as Tim has pointed out multiple times. But yeah, there's the book. There's the rub. General thoughts. I grew up on Lemony Snicket's, so you know I love a good fourth wall break. But maybe there's just a little too much for my taste, where I just felt like I was constantly being reminded that this is a story and this is a book, and I wanted to get into the story and read it and escapism, and the book kept being like, but remember, this is a story.
So it's breaking your immersion?
A little too much, yes.
I can see that.
Which, like I said, huge Lemony Snicket fan. But then again, Lemony Snicket was also a character in the book. We don't need to get that meta about it. But yeah, there was just something in that made it kind of tedious to read for me. Because you gave it 5 stars and said it was one of the best books you've read in forever.
Yeah.
But I gave it 3 stars. So.
Wow.
We have different opinions.
Yay, I hope that's on our bingo board somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. I read it and it was a little too dark, a little too fourth wall breaky. a little too philosophical. So I was like, okay. Like I said, I think of it as a book where I'm like, it has a lot of jumping off points to have conversations with my child. But do I want to sit down and read it by myself? Probably not. So that's kind of where I'm at.
So in my case, I loved this book, as you already mentioned. For me, the books that I read are so different from this that it was like a breath of fresh air.
You read nonfiction.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Well, that's just the thing. It's like, and the fiction that I do read, it's H.P. Lovecraft, it's Robert Howard, it's all of these grim, dark worlds with grim, dark people. And all of a sudden, here's just this little courageous mouse who's in way over his head, and the style of the writing. You didn't enjoy the whole fourth wall breaking that much. I enjoyed it because it's a novelty for me. Hey, they're talking right to me. That's fun. This is a roller coaster you've ridden before. This is my first ride.
Did you read Series of Unfortunate Events?
I read the first 2 books, and it's been so long.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later.
By the way, audience, that's a threat. And the themes in the book, I enjoyed getting the whiplash. I enjoyed how dark the book was able to get while still being a children's book. Because the whole time I knew I was reading a children's book, but it was so much fun to just look at, oh, hey, students and kids and whatnot, they get to look at this and go like, oh, this is the real world, even with a talking mice. This kind of stuff happens. And it's able to give the lessons in such a way where it doesn't beat you over the head with it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think it's know your kid, obviously, but it's pretty age appropriate.
Yeah, but I loved it. By the way, it is super easy to read. The books that I read take like 2 weeks, and that's because I'm not really good at reading, if I'll be honest. But with this one, I devoured it in a night and a day.
It is not long.
Yeah, I devoured this book. There are teeth marks in this book.
Isn't it a library book?
I'll buff them out and I'll return it.
Darkness, 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 darkness.
Thank you, Mickey.
It will not let you forget.
Yeah, I liked the light and the darkness symbolism. That was a focal key point of the book.
No, that's a huge reason I said it was mid-lit, though. This book will not let you miss it.
Yeah, this isn't too hard to understand. You don't have to think very hard about this. This isn't Hegel, this isn't Kierkegaard, this isn't Nietzsche. This is a fun mouse with a little needlepoint stick going and rescuing a princess. Don't think this book is more than it is because of my review. It is a children's book, and I'll admit, I had fun.
Yeah, but so was Redwall.
I didn't have as much fun. I don't know what it is about this book, but I enjoyed it. Maybe it's just the tongue-in-cheek nature of it.
I liked Redwall way better.
That's the thing is, it's a serious topic that doesn't take itself seriously.
I do like, by the way, I don't know if you read the dedication, but the dedication is to her son, because apparently her son asked her to write a story about an unlikely hero.
Huh.
And that is how this came across. I do like that.
Yeah, that kind of goes back to the Watership Down, with him creating stories for his girls on car rides.
Yeah, so my 3-star is mainly because of escapism.
Yeah.
I don't want to escape into this. This actually sounds pretty miserable.
Maybe that's why I gave it more stars, because I'm used to the grimdark.
This is a light vacation. What are you talking about?
Yeah, meanwhile, I'm saying, hey, Conan, you gotta read this. Maybe you can't read, but if you did, it would be...
It'd be real good. One question for the author. Since this was written in 2003, and there was a period of time through the 60s and 80s, all the, I'll use your word, fuzzy adventures.
Yeah.
And then we haven't found a 90s one, so maybe it didn't go away, but it feels like it went away. And then this book was like, that was fun. She had to have read a mouse book before. So I want to know what her favorite mouse hero book is. Because we've talked about the order that they were in and whether or not those authors, like The Rescuers, Secret of Nim.
Yeah, this is a latter-day mouse novel, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or at least the most recent we've read.
Yeah, so I don't believe that she missed all of those and then decided to write a book about a mouse. So I'd be curious what books she has read and she liked to help further inform her writing style.
For me, so this is the same author that wrote Because of Winn-Dixie.
Yes, I did find that out.
And she is a prolific children's author.
Yes.
And so this won and I'm trying to make sure I got the name for it right. Yeah, a Newbery Medal. And so that's a very prestigious writing award.
It basically makes sure that your book is going to be taught in classrooms for the rest of forever.
Yeah. And so she won a whole bunch of other awards. Her books are pretty much all highly reviewed. And I want to know, at what point in writing do you think to yourself, this is a winner? Because when you win an award like this, you know that you've done right. You know that you've done good. And so writing Tale of Despereaux, getting all the notes together, making sure the characters fit right, everything's post-it notes on the wall. Finally, you've got your typewriter or Google Doc or whatever you have. At what point can you just sit back, put your hands behind your head and say, yeah, this one's going to the top?
I don't know if you can. The world is just so unpredictable, especially the publishing world or any world. I was having this conversation to use a completely different example. You just never know how the public's going to react to something. 4-something years ago, Lady Gaga came out with an album and the critics hated it because they felt it was repetitive. She wasn't leading the charge in anything. She was just sitting back on her laurels and making the same music that she's always made. Panned, didn't sell very well, whatever. Earlier this year, Lady Gaga releases an album and everyone loves it because it reminds them of 2010 Lady Gaga, and she's going back to her roots and she's listening to fans, and it's so good to hear this type of music being made in the What?
Yeah.
And I listened to both albums, and there's a couple of songs on the old album where I'm like, okay, but Sour Candy? Rain on Me? Those were bops. Those were good. This album's good. What are you guys talking about? And Disease came out, and there's a couple other ones that came out that are really good. Abracadabra is really good and stuff. They're both good. What?
I did not expect to talk about Lady Gaga now or ever. But yeah, now I know.
I don't think it's possible to know I'm going to put this book out. It's going to be amazing. People are going to love it. And I'm going to put this book out. And for whatever reason, people don't like it and whatever. And I do think it helps once you've won one of those awards, you're kind of on the radar. Like I think of Barbara Kingsolver. She has won a lot of awards as well. I think she's won a Pulitzer at this point. But yeah, there's a certain amount of gut instinct of this is done that you have to get. But I don't think there's any way to know and to sit back and say that this is going to be a winner and know 100% that it is.
That's a freebie, audience. Not only do you get a book review, you get a music review.
You're welcome. But I would like to know how she gained the confidence to know that she's done, that the book is ready for publication, no more editing, it's ready, it's done. Granted, the publishing industry has changed a lot since 2003. But yeah. Rating. Oh my gosh, what's your rating? You go first.
All right, let's see. I would rate this eating soup in a well-lit room out of 10.
Okay, probably gonna go eat soup after this, honestly, for dinner. I don't know if I'll be in a particularly well-lit room or not.
Is yours just eating soup in the dark then?
I don't know. I like darkness.
Okay.
Maybe that's my problem. That's why I don't like this book. Propaganda.
Anti-darkness propaganda.
Anti-darkness propaganda. Because I would give this a mother's disappointment out of 10.
How? There are no mothers in the book.
There is one mother, and she has a lot of disappointments.
Oh yeah, you got me. I did not pay attention to the first 10 pages of the book.
So yes, I was excited because we have read a lot of furry books that I have liked, but this one,
That means we're finally breaking the trend, audience. That means the fuzzy era is over. We are going into new territory.
Read again. No.
Yes.
No, this is one of the books. If I'm like, my child's going through something and I need a fictional representation to be able to explain the concept to him, this will be my turning point. But that feels a lot like homework.
For me, this is you can read this at some point in the future and still be just as entertained as you were the first time around.
Or you could watch the movie and really be disappointed.
I refuse to see the movie.
It has like a 57 on Rotten Tomatoes audience score-wise, and that feels about right. It doesn't have the decency to be bad enough to be worth watching.
I would rather watch The Room.
No, not The Room. Fatal Findings.
Don't you dare.
The best movie that has ever existed. Please go watch it.
It is the worst movie I've ever seen in my entire life.
But have you read this book? Does this hold up to the other Mouse Hero books that came before it? Your mileage may vary, apparently. Do you have any book recommendations for us? Tell us all about it in the comments below. If you like the video, hit like. And if you're enjoying yourself, hit subscribe for more. Thank you for exploring the Tale of Despereaux with us. Join us next time when we'll be covering 3-Act Tragedy by Agatha Christie. I'm Sam Reiner.
And I'm Tim Bergman.
And we hope to see you and a friend here next time. Escape With Me Book Club is a Lunar Skulk production. Check us out on Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok to keep up to date with us. Lunar_SKULK.